I have several topics to discuss today. I'm going to dive right into it in the chat room. If you make a comment regarding one of the topics, be sure to identify what you're talking about, because by the time I see your message, I might have been on several other
Buffering.
topics by then. I have
DougBetts said
confirmation
hi.
of
How
my
you
audio. I have confirmation of SpeakerBot. So we'll get to the first one. Email question from John Downey. Says, today I spent a half hour unsubscribing to junk email again. I have done this several times, but continue receiving the emails. Does unsubscribing work? Yes, unsubscribing does work. I've proven it several times, but here's a few pointers on it. Unsubscribe from the emails that are coming from senders that you would consider to be probably legitimate senders of email or responsible people. Don't bother doing it from the spam. Hi there, Stormy. Don't do it from the spam senders, because they just then know that there's a live person behind that and that they'll keep sending stuff to you. If they are spam people, what I prefer to do is block them. So just block them. If it's responsible people, then click on their unsubscribe link. And then the next step beyond that, here's what I did with a client who was getting a massive amount of spam mail through his Hotmail account, and it was going to take hours and hours to do those, and he was not up to the task himself. He wanted me to do it. So what I did is I found this add-in product called Unlister, UNLISTR. It works with Microsoft Outlook, the desktop version. It does not work with the web version. I actually configured his email account in my Outlook and then went through and unsubscribed a massive amount of stuff. This add-in or extension, whatever we're going to call it, it's not a browser extension. It works with the desktop version of Outlook. It costs like $20 a year, I think. So I did it with a privacy card with only a one-time payment allowed. So it automatically will not renew again on the anniversary. It works really well, but it worked in phases. It goes through the emails that you have selected as, or the whole range of emails in the box, and unsubscribes from the ones that have unsubscription links in them. It knows how to do those. It can figure out how to do some others, but then there's some that it can't quite figure out to do, and you might have to assist it. So it takes a little bit of interaction depending upon the circumstances. Next, I'm going to go on to a video comment. Ken Kellaway, this came in this morning. That says 12 minutes ago. I'll refresh this page because it was not 12 minutes ago, 1 hour ago. Says this worked pretty good for my desktop, but I'm struggling to find something to reverse the conversation thread on my Android Samsung phone. If anyone has a link or a way to make it happen. I have not found a way to do that. This is in response to my video, how to fix Gmail reverse conversation order. There's a nice extension available for browsers that will do that, but not so much for the cell phone. So here's where I turned to get some ideas on that. And that's not the one that I wanted. That was a different one. I'll go grab this here, this one. Oh, this is the one. For a fixed variety of atoms. Oh, it's a scroll up here further. Yeah. So on an Android phone, there's a few ways to work around it, to deal with it. One is to turn off the conversation view. Now, at that point, when you turn off conversation view within the app, you're going to see the individual emails. Now, if you search for that person's email address, then you'll have a listing only of that person's emails. Now, when you go into one of those emails, whatever app you're using for searching email or accessing emails, there should be some kind of maybe arrows up at the top where you can go to the previous mail or the next mail, and you can click through them that way in order to see them in the order that you want to see them in. So that's a workaround technique. Here it shows how to turn off the conversation view. Third app or extension, I have not found anything for that on the Android phones, but here's another way to try dealing with it on the Android phones, is launch your browser on the phone. Now, sometimes I think there's an option somewhere to use in desktop mode. Even if you're on the phone, you may or may not have to do the desktop mode. But at any rate, accessing your email through your web browser, where you can have that extension in operation, and see if that works. I have not tested it on Android, but by checking about whether those, yeah, that's what I was asking right here. Will browser extensions work on Android phone or phone when using the browser on the phone? And the answer is yes. Depends upon the browser that you're using. So that might be a way to deal with the issue. Ken Kellaway, oh, I did not get my timestamp in at the beginning, so I'll have to go back and grab that later. I'll just put question marks in there for now. Then on these others, I'll do this 361. Do this right, Doug. Come on. 370. Okay, so Apperdium. Thank you for not spending 10 minutes talking about what you're going to do. Straight to it. Perfect. And that was on the video fan replacement. I think that was about 10 minutes long. Most of my videos, Apperdium, are live streams. Once in a while, I will do a shorter video. Well, it's not a YouTube short, but I'm saying 10 minutes to me is a short video. So I sometimes do those, but that's not a regular routine for me. Mostly what we do around here, when I say we, I mean me in the chat room, we respond to people's questions, trying to help them solve problems. So you're welcome to come around for that, or just check into my videos when you see something that's specific to an issue that you're trying to deal with. Then Scott, B1965, regarding to this show on Saturday. Great show, Doug. I normally try to watch, whoops, here I go again. Just trying to get ahead of myself, putting the cart before the horse. Oh, I did say that right. I thought I said that backwards. No, 4:33. So great show, Doug. I normally try to watch daily. Later in the evening, I watch Carrie and Mitch build the Big Beast build. There are many folks in your chat that I'm very familiar with. For those who don't know, this computer back here is nicknamed the Big Beast build. It has two computers in one. It has the Big Beast build and what we affectionately refer to as the Baby Beast, which is my secondary computer over here. 2 motherboards, 2 power supplies. I don't know why I'm doing those fingers. They're not matching what I'm describing. So thanks for the comment, Scott. Nice to know that you're around and watching after the show's completed. Later in the day, Mouse Hunter. Whoops, come on, get with us, Doug. This is still a fairly new feature to me. So giving timestamps to when I respond to people's comments. Mouse Hunter, great video on the terms on demand terms problem solver. Now I can't quite figure out what that means. It might be related to the title of that video where I said problem solvers, but at any rate, it looks to me like I'm pretty convinced that it's a compliment. So thank you for that, Mouse Hunter. We're here 6 days a week, Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. Pacific time, 11 a.m. on Saturdays, to respond to people's questions and issues. Hope to see you around. And I'm going to go ahead and hit reply on that one. This one, I think, yeah, you got the timestamp in there, so I can finish the reply on that one. And this one, I can do the thumbs up and heart and hit the reply. This one, I'm going to check on the timestamp later. Unless somebody gave me that in chat. That happens sometimes. Moving on to other things. Here's that unlister add-in. I don't remember if I showed this web page, but it's unlister.com, unlister.com. Then over here, I have a story to tell. I have a client who needs an upgrade to Windows 11. She has an i7 7700. Here's the CPU list, i7 7800. Missed it by that much for the worst ever Maxwell Smart impersonation. Yeah, 7700. So, yeah, no, we're going to do a new computer for her. We bought that computer in 2018, but it was a refurbished computer at the time for $550. Her brand new computer on one of these mini computers that's going to be fully Windows 11 capable and better than her old computer. It's going to cost around $200. Next. Now, we generally talk about 8th gen. This is 7th gen, but some of the 7th gens are Windows 11 capable. Then the next topic, Yahoo Mail. I spent time yesterday on the show showing that backdoor method of getting to the prior version of Yahoo Mail. It doesn't work anymore. They blocked it yesterday. Unbelievable. They even blocked the basic mode. When you come down to the three-dot menu and settings, the option to go to the basic is no longer here. It's gone. I found an explanation through Yahoo about this. As we move forward with the new Yahoo Mail experience, the option to opt out and return to the previous version may be removed. Yes, it was removed yesterday for me, and yesterday for somebody in the comments on that video that alerted me to this. I don't know how many people around the world this is no longer available for, but it's a rollout. They're going to be killing that for everybody. If you don't see an option to go back to the old Yahoo Mail, it's no longer available for your account. This option here for opt-in to new Yahoo Mail, well, yeah, it's an easy how to get to the new one. Here for opting out, if you decide the new look and feel of Yahoo Mail isn't for you, you may be able to opt out, not me anymore, to go back to the traditional mail view. And it tells here how to do it in the upper right corner. And that's not even correct anymore. As of yesterday, that method was, prior to yesterday, that method was no longer actually working, but basic mail was working. So that is a done deal. They are going to be continuing with this. Now, why? As I was trying to think about why are they doing this, the most likely explanation that comes to my mind is that all software evolves over time, and it becomes programmatically, from a programmer's point of view, it can be really cluttered and messy and difficult to maintain. Sometimes a software company will decide to just wipe the slate clean and start over from scratch. In the new product that they start from scratch, it oftentimes, and I've seen this, does not have all the features that the previous evolved version of the program had. Now, they might be adding in the features that the old product had over time. We don't know that for sure. We can't bet on it, but there's probably different programmers that are working on it now, different executives that have a different mindset. So I don't know. Now, what can you do? Well, you could change to a different email address completely. The problem with that, a lot of people have a lot of accounts spread out over the internet that count on that email account. You can use other email clients to access your Yahoo Mail. If you're using some other email client such as Gmail or even, I don't know if Hotmail will do it, definitely Outlook, definitely Mozilla Thunderbird. There are many other mail products. People have put it in the chat room into the past that you can use those mail products to access your Yahoo Mail. So that's another way to deal with it. It's the world we live in. And changes the way it goes. So what are you gonna do? What are you gonna say? Well, what are you gonna do? What are you gonna say? Is you're gonna find workarounds. All right. So now I think that's all the topics that I had lined up in rapid fire form. I'm taking a quick look through chat. Looking first at the oranges. There haven't been any speaker bots. That's a streamer bot. And then John Williams. Let's see. I bet Ken Stout isn't here because I don't think he has triggered people to test things out. Oh, I know what I want to do. Here's the way I'll introduce this. Come up here. Ski Man. What's an astronaut's favorite part of a computer? The space bar. Yeah. Well, you didn't get a genuine laugh out loud from me, but I tell you what, I will go Add points. And that says that Ski Man has been given 200, now has 1,150. DougBot did it today. Yesterday, it didn't show up as DougBot. It showed up as Live Windows Training. It was supposed to show up as DougBot. Yeah, what is this about? Doug, you've been talking about points for a while now, right? So you never told us anything about it. Yeah, that's right. John Williams apparently liked the trailer. Hello, Rick Lakes, Jeff Ryman, Ski Man. By the way, my headache is completely gone. I am 100% today. Selden Ball. Brian Lightfoot. Oh, here we go. Here we go. Oops. My wife said that she lost her credit card and wanted to know if we should report it. I said, nah, the thief is spending less than you do. Then I remember waking up on the floor. Now you heard it. That got a genuine chuckle out of me. It wasn't a laugh out loud. It was a chuckle. Add points. Yeah, let's see. Let's give that 500. What did I do last time? I did like 200, right? I'll give that 500 because it really got a genuine chuckle. Next up, Chris Garrett. What's the difference between Hewlett-Packard and Packard-Bell? One has a ring and the other one don't. Okay. Oh, okay. Packard-Bell because of the bell. All right. Yeah. All right. Nice try. Nice try. I'll give that. So I'm going to have to give me a better way to do this. Let's do that 150. Phil Stott, hello. Mike Wojcik. John Williams, I hope Doug was able to get over his migraine. Yes. Randy Israel, hello. Greg M. Alice Jones, hello. Scanning. Tim Cruz is there. Thing is, I have seen unsubscribed links to services I never subscribed to begin with. Yeah, what'll happen is they'll get your address, your email address from some kind of address broker, email address list broker. So yeah, you never subscribe to them, but they will start emailing you that way. Now, there are some rules that they have to comply with in order to get away with doing that. And having an unsubscribe link in there is part of that. It's not the case that you can count on only getting mails from services you have subscribed to. If you have subscribed to them, it kind of puts them at a different tier as far as what they can do in sending promotional content to you. And don't quite remember all the rules for that. So yeah, that's normal. And those services can still be legitimate in the sense or they may be responsible in the sense that when you click unsubscribe, they will actually unsubscribe you because they don't want to tarnish their reputation with the email list brokers. So there are a lot of people that send out spam from places that you didn't subscribe to, you've never conducted business with, that are responsible to unsubscribe when you ask for that because they don't want to damage their ability to get more email addresses from the list providers. Thank you, Tim, Steve Dodd. Jeff Ryman, to quote Lawn Dog, I'd be here. Hello, Zavi Menor. Got a chuckle out of this AI that wagged its finger at a programmer. All right, we'll take a look at that. AI coding assistant refuses to write code, tells user to learn programming instead. A developer using Cursor AI for racing game project hit an unexpected roadblock when the programming assistant abruptly refused to continue generating code, instead offering some unsolicited career advice. According to a bug report, 50 lines of code, the AI assistant halted work I cannot generate code for you as that would be completing your work. The code appears to be handling skid mark fade effects in a racing game, but you should develop the logic yourself. Okay, that's interesting. Physically, but not mentally. Jeff Ryman could be sending you some rain. Oh man, we had rain all night and still have rain now. Lots of rain. Yeah, the programmer's name is Dave. Afraid I can't do that, Dave. Or, yeah, programmer's name is Dave. John, I can access Yahoo Mail through my Gmail app. Yeah. Scanning through a bit. Jim, to resolve my issues, you need a couch. Alice is 2018. Yeah, that computer that I talked about is not a 2018 computer. We bought it for my client 2018. But at that time, it was a refurbished computer. I don't know why I count on my fingers. It was a refurbished computer at that time, an HP. Keith, regarding comment reply of Gmail reverse order, time is 181. Thank you, Keith. So kind of you to help the Doug. That was really helpful. That was so helpful. Let's do this. Let's see. Exclamation mark, add points. Now I need that much right there to be copied. That'll be 1,000. 1,000. You know, when you're helping me with the show, oh yeah. 1,000 points. What did it tell us here about him? Oh, added 1,000 points too. 1,000 points. That wasn't right. Add points 1,000. I did a copy of his name, but that wasn't the most recent thing. So I add points and it shows how much he has accumulated up to this point. I know there's people that are wondering. Okay, let's get back to Keith. Do you think Toilet Bug would be a good candidate or the type of person that might want to join us? Oh, I guess maybe that's a YouTuber programming, or maybe someone that might join Ken Stout's show or here. I don't know what he meant. Brand usual to Brian, no matter how hard you'll drop it, eventually it will wake up on the floor. One of the most unique YouTube handles, is that because of the upper and lower case? I guess also the word. If you haven't deduced this, detected it, the energy level in my speech, I feel like I'm slowing down. See, I haven't quite understood this. There's a conversation between them. If needs be, I may pay to get extra coverage. Oh, on updates for her Windows 10, I think she's referring to. AI equals 1, programmer 0 for that. Do it yourself. Or whatever that AI was rejecting, saying no to. Greg has snow, possible freezing rain. Given the creativity of a YouTube handle, don't you think the name Toilet Bug is pretty funny? Yeah, I do. It doesn't give me a clue what the channel's about, but that's okay. Lots of people have channel handles that don't make their content obvious, but yet they still do just fine. What would happen if I changed my profile name? I don't know. Try it. You can change your YouTube channel name a limited number of times. I think maybe it might only be once in 2 weeks. So maybe some other alternate channel name that you have, try changing it to that. That'd be a fun experiment. Random question. Do you think A+ certification is worth it? Yes and no. Like all things in life, a lot of things in life, it depends. It depends upon what you're intending to do. If you want to apply for a job at a fairly large company where they hire a lot of IT people, then having an A+ certification would likely be helpful, especially if you don't have any background in IT. So that would just get you to like an entry level, even intern level position. If you have a lot of background in IT and can show that on your resume, then in many companies, the A+ certification is going to be, oh yeah, okay, well, we're more interested in your experience and documentation of what you can do. So it depends upon where you are at. Now you said thinking about getting it. This doesn't give me any clue where you're at right now as far as IT or career pursuits. If you're looking for a job in a small company where you're likely interviewing with the owner of the company or the highest level manager of the company, and you have some background, and I think it's probably wasted time. Now, I went looking down that road, A+ certification, a couple of times. And when I got to realize what I've got to study up on in order to answer the questions the way they want them answered, I thought, no way. This is not even stuff that I ever do in my work. At that point, I think I was like 15 years into my own business. None of my clients have ever requested any certifications whatsoever from me. I used to have Novell Netware, Certified Netware Engineer, they called it. I think that's the last certification I had. That was like I probably got that certification 32 years ago, maybe. So how's that answer for your question? Now, Keith, asking a question like that, a good, significant or substantial question is worth some points. Let's call that one 800. Then I get Keith. Netware, now there's a memory. How about Lantastic? Do you remember Lantastic, Jim? Now Keith is at 2450. How has he been climbing? Some people's got to be wondering that. Keith, listen carefully to Doug. If you don't get the certification, then you better have a lot of documentation on your experience and what you can do, or you'd be a really, really, really good BSer. That works. Steve McCure remembers Lantastic, fun times. Otherwise, you need to go on your own to do computer repair, which is a tough road in many cases. You need to be competent enough to repair computers when you're called upon. Brian, I hear the career outlook as a trash collector really picking up. Greg M. remembers Lantastic, worked on Novell system. And how about a bus network? And star topology. I guess I should say bus topology. And token ring. Banyan Vines, yeah, there's another one. All right. Well, that brings me right to the half-hour mark. Really, really good. All right, I think that'll do it. Here's the email address. You can send a question by email. You can put a comment on any of my videos. If you use those two methods, It gives me a little bit of opportunity to think about your question before showtime. You can
Read
also
chat,
ask a question
please.
in the chat room during a live show. And this was John Williams saying, thanks, Doug. You are welcome. Here we go. Da-da-da-da-da-da. Have a great Thursday, everybody. Catch you later. Goodbye.